Real. Welcome everybody to the UCL review for match day 5. We are almost at the conclusion of the league phase of the Champions League, where we saw Liverpool dominate and beat Real Madrid, where we saw PSG are in serious trouble, and we saw some absolutely epic comebacks by PSV, by Feyenoord, and by Benfica to round up a crazy UCL week, as we always do on the channel. So if you're any fan of a club, Dortmund, if you're a PSV fan, if you're a Benfica fan, if you're a Sporting fan, how are you all feeling after this week? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, as we do this every week after the Champions League live streams on Thursday for the UCL review, where we review every single game. Yes, we're even going to talk about Sturm, Graz, and Girona, because there was some crazy misses in that matchup. Big up to someone as well. How you doing? Yeah, I definitely got real after last night. That is for sure. And big up to YG in the house. So get your thoughts in the chat, people. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. And let's go through every single game. I don't have a lot of time today. And also, happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans out there. It's a big day for everybody. Hey, you get a free day off and you get to enjoy some UCL talk on a Thanksgiving day. How much better can it be? And big up to Martin as well. Great time to be alive. It is a great time to be alive, people. It is a great time to be alive. Oh, what a day. What a day. What a season. What a time to be alive. All right, let's get through the games then. So Atletico 6-0. And I think this on Tuesday was one of the highest scoring days in Champions League history. It might have been the second or third most. And 6-0. When was the last time Atletico scored 6 goals away from home? In any game, La Liga, Copa del Rey, you want to talk about Champions League? I have not seen Atletico score more than 3 goals away in a long time. And for them to do that, and I mean, some people are talking crazy shit about Julian Alvarez, saying he's a flop and everything. Do these people watch like Atletico? Do they watch La Liga? Because if you've actually been watching Julian, now if you want to talk about a flop, you could probably talk about Sorloth, right? Sorloth, he hasn't been the big money signing that they were hoping for Atletico, but Alvarez is doing his thing. That free kick he scored, oh my, que golazo. No, actually, where's my sound? Where's my sound? This is the sound it deserves from that golazo. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Que golazo, man. Que golazo from Alvarez. And they just cruised past Sparta Praha. This was not a contest, people. This was a training ground session for Atletico. They just got that first goal. They got the second goal. They absolutely gave Sparta Praha nothing in this game. There was like a half chance for Sparta Praha in the second half. Other than that, it was complete and utter annihilation. Obviously, Correa comes off the bench, gets 2 goals. Griezmann comes off the bench, gets 2 goals. I still don't know what is the best front line for Atletico going forward, but if Alvarez keeps this up, you're not going to drop him ever, really, unless it comes after the international break that Cholo usually does. But great performance from Atletico. They needed these wins. They got now 2 back-to-back away wins where they've been really struggling, I would say, in Europe and in La Liga away from home for like the last 2 seasons, I want to say. So to get back-to-back wins, first in Paris, then in Praha, great. And for Sparta Praha, yeah, these guys, they might be done. That's now 3 straight losses. They lost to Stade Brestois, even though they got dominated in that game. They lost to Man City away, and then they got destroyed at home by Atletico. Sparta Praha are finito in this Champions League. Right now, they are finito. Then we get to Milan 3, Slovan Bratislava 2. Milan are just a weird team. They're just a weird team in a sense that they have so much firepower going forward, with Captain America doing his thing once again. Rafael Leao comes off the bench, does his thing. Tammy Abraham gets his goal. But that defense is such a liability. It is going to give nervous breakdowns to every Milan fan out there because these guys can't defend. So when they go up against a top team, let's say in the knockout round or in the top 8, they're going to concede goals. So the only way Milan are going to go far in this Champions League season is by outscoring every single opponent. And okay, you can do that against the Slovan Bratislava. You can do that against Club Brugge, but Milan are just a mess, people. Like, okay, they won this game. Cool. How are you conceding? What is the principal thing for defending? And especially from a corner that you have. Oh, let's not get counterattacked. It's just one simple ball over the top from Slovan Bratislava. Barshigian gets the goal. Great finish from him. But it's just naive defending once more from Pavlovic to Reinders to, I think, Calabria. This is just so bad defending. Obviously, Pavlovic, he cleared a chance off the line earlier in the game that could have even made it 1-0 for Slovan Bratislava. But Milan, they just don't look like a functioning team. They're just going to have to outscore opponents and hope their star boys, Pulisic and Leao, just step up every single game. That's the only way they're going to win games because they're not going to defend a 1-0, right? The heroics they had in Madrid was because they outscored Madrid and Maignan was on some crazy shit that night. Other than that, you're not going to expect Milan to beat a Barcelona, to beat a Liverpool, to beat Inter. Okay, they did beat Inter. Excuse me, Milan fans, excuse me. But I think in the Champions League, if you want to go far, you still have to have a solid defense. And okay, you got Maignan and you got Tomori, but everybody else, even Theo Hernandez, a dude who I love, is just not playing at an elite level this season. The right side and the other center back next to Tomori needs fixing up. And I don't think Milan got that, but they got the win, right? They got the win, and that's the most important thing. And Slovan Bratislava have lost every single game this season in the Champions League. Welcome to the Champions League, and they have suffered 5 losses, 4 goals scored, and 18 conceded. Who's going to be the worst team, people? Is it going to be Slovan Bratislava or Young Boys, or heck, maybe even RB Leipzig at this rate? But look, Milan won the game, most important thing, and just shows you how important Leao and Pulisic are to this valuable team. Big up Alexander. Milan got sloppy at the end of the match. They did. They could have really, really drawn that game. And big up to Mo. How are you all doing? All right, let's continue, people. Milan, man, these guys are going to give a heartache to every team. And then Inter, they have still conceded 0 goals in the Champions League. I mean, this team, where would you rank people? Where would you rank Inter in a sense of like power rankings in Europe? And maybe where would you put them in favorites to win the Champions League? I think they're easily top 4 team right now in Europe. Okay, what we see in Serie A is a team that's conceding chances, even though in the last couple of games they've kept a clean sheet. They destroyed Hellas Verona 5-0. They kept only 1 goal against Napoli, which was a corner from Scott McSauce, and they kept a clean sheet against Arsenal. They kept a clean sheet against Venezia. But the defense isn't as solid as it was last season. But in the Champions League, they are giving up nothing. They gave up nothing to RB Leipzig. The only chance that RB Leipzig genuinely had in this game was Antonio Nusa's, and it was a great save from Sommer. But other than that, this was just one-way traffic. It was blue and black, and it was Inter, and they just kept creating chance after chance, and they're just such a good. If they just had more clinical strikers, Taremi, like Thuram and Lautaro are certified starters. I don't think anybody can debate that. But you would just expect a little bit more from Taremi. He's better than Arnautovic. He's better than Correa, even though Correa scored against Hellas Verona. But you expect a little bit more. But Inzaghi's always rotating the team, keeping it fresh. And I think that's going to be a good thing as the season goes on and on. He knows exactly how to prepare for the league and how to prepare for European competitions. And that's what makes Inzaghi one of the best managers out there. But this game could have been 3-0, 4-0. I mean, RB Leipzig are a travesty in the Champions League at the moment. They are 34th in this. What is going on with RB? It cannot be that they're this bad, people. Some of the teams that are, we'll look at the table more in depth at the end of the stream, but RB Leipzig are worse than Crvena, Zvezda, Sturm, Graz, Sparta, Praha, Shakhtar Donetsk. RB, so they're not even the best Red Bull. They're just Red Bull, but no wings. I mean, this is terrible. Yeah, look, they've had a tough schedule. They've played Atletico, they've played Juventus, Liverpool, Celtic, and Inter, but you got to expect a little bit better from RB Leipzig. You got to expect a little bit better from Loisa Penda and these sort of players, or Gertrude or Haidara as well. But yeah, RB Leipzig are terrible, and I think Inter are still, I think Inter can make it to the semifinal. Last season, people laughed at them losing on penalties to Atletico, but this is just a well-drilled team. You don't want to play Inter in the Champions League. One, because Inzaghi is a great manager, and two, this team knows how to defend. As we see with a lot of teams in Europe, there's not a lot of defensive structure. Inter got that defensive structure on lock. And for me, they are the third or fourth best team in Europe at the moment, and I expect them to go far in this competition. If they keep defending like this, and if they can just get Lautaro in form, be worried. Be worried. Be very, very worried. Big up, man. How you doing? 4 or 5, top 4, top 5. Yeah, Leipzig are terrible, man. They are just an abysmal team. Taremi is a pressing striker. Without the team, would give up way more chances. I hear you. I definitely hear Adaust, but also at the end of the day, Taremi is a striker. Okay, cool. You can just run around, but you got to put the ball in the back of the net. That's what strikers are meant to do. And he's not been doing that a lot this season. And he had a couple of chances in this game to get a goal. Same thing for Lautaro. Love the guy, but he's not been in good form this season. And it is definitely an expired. There's not even like any bubbles or any gas with this Red Bull. It's just flat without the bull. Might just be a pig at this point. Liverpool might just be the most informed team in the world. Yeah, we'll talk about big up Katsande. Well, yeah, we'll talk about Liverpool. Don't worry, people. We'll talk about them. Just hit the like button if you could do kindly. We're on 14 likes. You guys are performing like RB Leipzig. That's all I got to say. You guys are performing like RB Leipzig. Well, a team that didn't perform like RB Leipzig, maybe one of the teams did. Sporting got absolutely destroyed and humiliated, and Gabriel did the Gyökeres celebration. That's how much of a piss take Arsenal did on Sporting in this game. This game was done and dusted after the first half. I don't want to hear no criticism about how Arsenal played in the second. This was cruise control. They put it on cruise control, like in my Nissan Micra. Press the button, done. Game over. It was just, I thought Arsenal were fantastic in that first half. If they can keep playing like this, Arsenal, maybe they can win the Premier League, maybe the Champions League. Who knows? I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are the favorites alongside Liverpool and Barcelona, but Arsenal put in a dominant performance finally away from home in Europe. Not at the Emirates, away from home, where everybody wants to criticize Arteta. Everybody wants to criticize these players. So to perform like that in Lisbon, it's just craziness right there from Arsenal. And Erdogan was amazing. I thought Saka was great. And Jurrien Timber is much better than Ben White. Okay, cool. They're much better than Ben White. And yeah, look, it was just a great performance from Arsenal. I have nothing else to say, really. Look, I made that video talking about, what's wrong with Arsenal. And clearly there was something wrong with this team. But the international break came at the perfect time. Regroup, reassess, get the energies going once again, get the players back in form. And yeah, Arsenal are in form at the moment. They destroyed Nottingham Forest. They destroyed Sporting away. Eesh. Let's see how Arsenal fans are feeling at the moment. But it's only November. They haven't won anything like every other side in Europe this season. They just got to keep on going and build the momentum. And this is exactly what Arsenal need away from home in Europe, especially. Just got to say for Sporting, I thought they were abysmal. They were so bad. Look, you can talk about Ruben Amorim leaving, but that was just naive defending at times from this side. Okay, you have the free man Gabriel. I don't know who was marking Gabriel. It might have been Trincao who was marking Gabriel. Why is Trincao, of all players, marking Gabriel for that corner? And just other, like, Saka was easily over the top from Partey's pass. It was just such poor defending from Sporting's perspective. Look, how much you want to put blame on Ruben Amorim leaving, people? Let me know your thoughts if you're a Sporting fan. But that was not a good performance. And that was truly maybe like a humbling experience for the manager, the new manager, and the players. Because Sporting have been a fantastic side throughout this season. But it can't just be that the manager leaves and you lose by 4 goals at home. And then once they got that goal early on in the second half, they got the momentum. And then Diomande, I don't think it was a penalty. I thought it was pretty harsh. Killed the momentum. And that was the game done and dusted. And you could just see the heads drop for Sporting. Sporting just came with no intensity in the first half. And they came with intensity in the second half until they conceded the penalty. And then I just see this rhetoric. I mean, Arsenal Fan TV, look, it is a great channel. They've done amazing work. But some of these guys on that channel, I just saw a clip, right? And he's like, Gyökeres, this guy's just a fraud. He's not going to cut it out in the Premier League. I mean, dear Lord, sometimes people who run their mouths don't know anything about football, right? I might not have the biggest channel, but I just try to pride myself on watching the games. And I've seen Yildiz. This guy's a beast. He's a beast. So you're not going to judge on one game. I can guarantee you, all Serie A fans that watch the Atalanta-Arsenal game would all say, and if they don't watch Premier League football, they watch soccer and say, what's the hype for? What? This guy, world class and everything. He wouldn't cut it out at Atalanta. It's the same thing over and over again. But Yildiz is still a great striker. Did he have a good game? Heck no. He got bullied. And Gabriel is doing the celebration on him. I mean, it's just pathetic from some content creators, which is sad, right? Because then it gives a bad image on other content creators. But Yildiz is still going to be a good striker wherever he goes next summer, because he's definitely going to leave. But I would just like to see Yildiz, that free kick he had, the dude sent it back to Stockholm with that free kick. I get you want to try all the power because he had a similar free kick a couple weeks ago. I just skied it back to Stockholm. It was terrible. Or where I think he's from Stockholm or somewhere in Sweden. Yeah, terrible from him. He had that one chance, like half chance, where he shot it over the bar. Yildiz had his opportunities. It didn't work out for him on the day. Okay, cool. Let's see him next time against the big team, and let's see how Yildiz does. But other players on this team, they didn't step up. Kenda, I thought he had a pretty decent game. He was a little bit dangerous on the right side. Araujo down the left, not too much. I thought Human and Morita, they tried to do the best they can. Morita tried to play balls over the top, but it seemed like nobody was making a run in behind over and over again. But yeah, look, Sporting got humbling, and now let's see how they regroup, because it's going to be a long, long season for them. With the league, of course, and with the Champions League. And it's going to be interesting to see how they balance the two out, because Benfica, they're playing well. And yeah, Porto are just a mess at this moment. All right, let's see what you people say. And yeah, look, great win for Arsenal. Great win. Ruben Amorim influence. It was Sporting's worst match so far. Losing to Ruben Amorim and Pedro Gonçalves was a big blow, but I think that's no excuses. Frustrating match. Yeah, I think even if Pedro played, I think Sporting would have still lost like 4-1, 3-1, even if that. Every England team except one are crazy, man. Arsenal are behind Inter, Liverpool, Barcelona, Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich for the UCL. I don't think City and Madrid will be worse than this later in the season, but Arsenal can. Well, you could say the same thing about Barcelona and Liverpool. You could. Yeah, they were lacking any sort of drive. Sporting can't focus on the next thing. They focus on their achievements and forget about their next obstacle. Yeah, that's what they got to do. Reality check, 100%. They can say whatever they want about Yildiz. Hopefully they don't buy him again. It's the best player I've ever seen play in Portugal. Well, it is a Sporting fan, but he is one of the best players I've seen in Liga Portugal. I got to be honest. Sometimes the best football opinions come from random people in the streets or cafes behind the camera. I don't know, Andy. I don't know, buddy. That might be true sometimes, but not a lot of times. So true. Anyone who watches the Swedish team knows he's certainly the real deal. He's from Stockholm. Okay, gotcha. I don't watch the Champions League. I'm more of an international football fan. I'm trying to best to keep up with that. It's good, Ahmed. It's good, bro. Porto are abysmal side right at the moment. Did you see the fans complaining? Oy. Try and do that in England. So by Leverkusen, 5-0. Not much to say here. RB Salzburg are flat. No wings either. Why are all the Red Bull teams got no sauce, no gas, nothing? They're just so bad. Like Pep Linders thought he could be a very good. Do you guys know where RB Salzburg are in the league? Not even the Champions League. In their own league. A league that they dominated for 12, 13 years. They are 5th place in the Austrian Bundesliga. They are such an abysmal team defensively and going forward, and they just got overrun. But shout out to Grimaldo. Scored a ridiculous free kick. This guy is a top 2 free kick taker in the world. Ridiculous technique. The goal was just stunning, and Florian Wirtz is a stunning player. I'm one of his biggest fans. I think he's going to be an awesome pickup for whatever team signs him. If he goes to Bayern Munich, I will laugh because, they're going to do it again, Bayern Munich, but also he is going to be a sensational signing for whatever team he goes to. Patrick Schick, I think he's got 5 goals in his last 3 games. Boniface got injured, international break. Schick taking his role well. Alex Garcia, I think that's his first goal for Bayer Leverkusen, if I'm not mistaken. So good thing for them. Defensively, they didn't give up a lot because RB Salzburg are just so bad. So bad, people. How they still won that game away to Feyenoord, I have no clue. But Red Bull teams, Jurgen Klopp, you got a big job on your hands. You got a big job on your hands because these teams, they ain't showing no sauce at the moment. Zero sauce. Yeah, but by Leverkusen, are they back? No, because RB Salzburg are just terrible. All right. Put a 1 if you think PSG are not going to make a top 24 finish, and put a 2 if you think they will. Wait, put a 1 if you think they won't make it to the top 24. Put a 2 if you think they will make it to the top 24. Let's give some praise to Bayern Munich. That is now 7 straight clean sheets. Kim Min-jae, Upamecano. Good, better. Did they give up some chances? Yeah, it was a little bit, they're going to give up chances, Bayern Munich. That's just the way of football that company likes to play. But they still look defensively solid. I thought Konrad Laimer was man in the match. I thought he was a beast. Going forward defensively, he was unbelievable, Konrad Laimer. And Kim Min-jae gets the goal because Salvanov, what is it with these PSG goalkeepers at the moment? They are so soft, like pudding. Pudding these guys are made of. Donnarumma giving up mistakes against Atletico. Then Salvanov coming into this game. Be stronger. The dude that's in front of you is Musiala. It's not Akinfenwa. It's Musiala. Push him away. You're a goalkeeper. You're going to get a foul. We're going to talk about the Aston Villa Juventus game later. You just got to force yourself. But Salvanov, weak. And I think that's just the hallmark of this PSG team. They're weak. Weak mentally and weak physically. They got no threats going forward. They have 3 goals in 5 games in the Champions League. 3 goals for Paris Saint-Germain. With all the money they spent. No, that's inexcusable. But Bayern Munich, if they could just be a more clinical team, if Coman could find his shooting boots, if Leroy Sané could find his shooting boots, Musiala being a bit more clinical. Harry Kane, I thought, had a bad day. I thought his touch was poor, passing wasn't great, but yet they still could have scored 5 goals, 4 goals, and then, Dembele getting the red card definitely helped Bayern Munich to create more chances, but PSG are just in serious trouble at the moment, people. I'm going to tell you what their upcoming games are, and you're going to tell me, you just put a W or an L or a draw, if you want to put it that way, for their last 3 games in the Champions League to see if they make it to the next round. RB Salzburg away. Do they win, lose, or draw that game? This is the stage we've gone to with this PSG side. They are in serious trouble here. W, draw, loss for PSG against RB Salzburg away. I want to see what you guys say. W's. Okay, so we're going W's for them. All right. Then next year, it is Manchester City at home. Now, it's a long way away. We don't know how both teams could be playing at that time. Man City at home. W, draw, or loss. And that could possibly be a must-win for both teams. An absolute must-win for both teams. Man City at home. I mean, PSG are in serious trouble here, people. They're in serious trouble. All right, most people are going with a draw, loss. Serious L, E. All right, and then their final game is Stuttgart away. Do you think they're going to beat Stuttgart away, people? Do you think they're going to do it? Because these 5 games, right? Wait, where's their schedule again? Oh, there it is. They narrowly beat Girona because Gazzaniga just gave a stupid goal away. It was an own goal. They lost to Arsenal away. They drew at home to PSV. They should have really won that game. They created enough chances. They lost to Atletico, last-minute goal, and they lose to Bayern Munich. I mean, simply put it, this team just has no flair going forward and no threat. Barcola, cool. You can cook in Ligue 1. And he's a very talented player. He's doing his thing for PSG in Ligue 1. Got to show up in the Champions League. You got to show up in the Champions League. Dembele, he's a lost cause. If he ain't playing Barcelona, he'll never show up with a goal or an assist. He won't. So either you got to get Gonzalo Ramos fit and playing, or trust, I don't know, Kolo Muani or somebody. How can this team that spend all the money, get all the talented players in France, and only produce 3 goals in 5 games? Yeah, they've had a tough schedule, and they got very technical players. Vitinha, obviously, João Neves, who I absolutely love. He's tried to score 2 golazos in this game, by the way. Ridiculous volley for him with that left foot. And then Zaire Emery. And they got Pacho, they got Marquinhos. Hakimi was getting cooked. PSG are they just have no threat going forward. They don't. That's the issue for them. They can defend well with Pacho and Marquinhos, and they can create the chances, and they can keep the ball very well. But if you have no threat going forward in the final third, you will not win any games. And yeah, that was the best thing, by the way. That was the best thing. Neuer got more. Oh, Jesus. No, that ain't a real stat. You're going to tell me that Neuer completed more dribbles than Dembele and Barcola. No. That sequence he had in the second half, I was like, no, you're just taking the piss here. You're taking the piss. So are PSG in trouble, people? Let me know your thoughts in the chat and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because this is now getting to a horrific stage for Paris Saint-Germain. I'm really worried for that. When they lost to Atletico, I said to you people, they might not make the top 24. And if Monaco, Lille, and Stade Brestois make the top 24 and these guys go out, that might be an hour video. Just discussing on what do you do with this club next? All this money they pump into it. All this money. Oh my God, it's going to be luxurious. And nothing. And then quickly on Bayern Munich before we move on to the next game. I still think they're a good team. They play very good football. Obviously, they're missing a couple of players like Pavlovic and these sort of guys. I just need them to be more clinical. They just got to have a bit more threat. Obviously, they're going to score all the goals in the Bundesliga, because for me, and you guys know I love all the European leagues, the Bundesliga has taken an L this season. I think the quality has taken a little bit of a drop this season, and Bayern Munich are defensively strong at the moment. But when it gets further on in the Champions League, you need the Komans, you need the Leroy Sané's, you need the Musialas and the Kanes to be firing on all fronts. You need the bazookas, you need the missiles. And right now, they just have a grenade. And that grenade was a set-piece goal. But they need to be a much more threatening team in the knockout stage. And I think Bayern Munich can still go far. You can never count out Bayern Munich. They went to the semifinal last season with Thomas Tuchel, with the haram ball he was trying to play. And they almost made it to the final if it wasn't for him substituting Harry Kane and Musiala out of the game. They would have made it to the final. This team still got the quality, but they just got to be a bit more clinical. They create the chances. And that's one thing Vincent Kompany will definitely be working on with this team. Bayern Munich, good performance, 7 straight clean sheets. Can't deny it. It's got to be more clinical. That's the biggest issue for them. Yep, 100%. Yeah. Look, if all PSG just have to do is they got to beat Man City and they got to beat RB Salzburg, then they're cool. If we come to this Champions League review in a couple weeks and I see PSG have not beaten RB Salzburg, they're done. They're done, people. Yeah, we'll get to Feyenoord in a second, people. We'll get to Feyenoord in a second. PSG sold it. We'll talk about Mbappe. Big up to everybody in the chat. We got 55 of you in the house. Remember to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're only on 18 likes. Oh, man, we are performing like RB Salzburg, RB Leipzig, and PSG combined, and Real Madrid. That equation does not add up, people. That equation does not add up. Oh, and speaking of Feyenoord, holy crap. We're going to talk, people. We are going to talk because this might be one of the most stunning comebacks I think I've ever seen. This was simply ridiculous. I didn't catch the first half of this game. I watched the second half because I was like, okay, 1-0. Let me tune in. Let me see what's going on. Let me see Haj Musa. Let me see these guys. And Man City had this in complete and utter control. And yet they still bottle it. Like, have you ever seen this from a Pep team? Okay, they've suffered some embarrassing losses like the Lyons, and they've lost to Monaco and these sort of teams. But I have never seen in my lifetime Pep Guardiola bottle a 3-0 lead at home. At home, people, in the last 15 minutes of a game. When have you ever seen that from a Pep team? I think this is just the biggest issue. They got the goal scoring. They got the chance creation. The defense is just such a liability. Any team will... Pep Linders and RB Salzburg would score against Man City. They would probably score 2 goals at this rate. Any team out there. Oldham Athletic. Let's throw other teams in there. Djurgården, Panathinaikos, Club Brugge. All of these teams would score against Man City. You just put one ball over the... I don't get it with Pep right now. I don't get it. You play this defensive high line. Cool. Do you have the personnel to do it? Clearly not. So stop doing it then, Pep. This is now a little bit more of coaching. Now you can actually criticize more on Pep with his tactics. Because you take a 3-0 lead. Haaland gets a good goal. Matheus Nunes, great cross into Haaland. 3-0. Cool. Shut up shop and just defend well. And all Man City did was not defend well. I mean, the first, the second goal. Givardio is just sleeping at the back post. Sleeping at the back post. Lotomba's there. Lotomba was a great sub, by the way, when he came onto the field. And Santi Jimenez is back. Santi Jimenez is back, people. Where's the Mexico kid? Where's the next... My boy Santi. I love Santi, by the way. I love Santi, people. I think he's going to be a top quality striker. A little bit of a lucky goal, but hey, they all count, don't they? They all count. And Haj Musa, I literally just said this on Twitter before the game. I was very intrigued by this player. I saw him score an epic goal against RB Salzburg where I was like, wait, this guy's Algerian. He's got flair. I'm tuning in. Caught my eye. I saw his goal against Amir City. I was like, wait. What do Feyenoord got here? What are they cooking up? And then he scored against Man City. Oh my, I was like, wow. And he got man of the match, people. I don't think people understand. I did a little shorts on TikTok. Remember to follow me on all the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, because I talked about Haj Musa's rise. This guy was playing third division Belgian football last year, people. And he picked up a man of the match performance against Manchester City. That's why we love the beautiful game. It doesn't matter what level you're at. As long as you can keep performing, believe in yourself, and he has scored in 4 straight games, and he scores against Man City, that's the beautifulness of football. That's why I love it. That's why we all love this sport, for storylines like that. And Haj Musa to do that. But I think this is more on Man City. Yes, we can talk about Priske and Feyenoord always having this sort of never die attitude, which is kind of a phenomenon with Feyenoord football. But you cannot bottle a 3-0 lead if you're Man City. They're in crisis mode at the moment, people. They're in crisis mode. Do you think it's going to... How do you rectify this if you're Pep? How do you rectify this, people? Do you just change the tactics? Do you change the lineup? Because you bring on Simpson, didn't work out. Ake, he was okay. Givardio at the moment. I love Givardio. I think he's a top quality center back. Keywords, people. Center back. Can't do a job at left back at the moment. He's getting absolutely fried up at every single game. And Man City are just so poor defensively. They just do not know how to deal with counterattacks at the moment. So Pep's got to go to the drawing board ahead of this weekend against Manchester City. And look, Man City are fighting for a top 8 finish here. How many points are they behind now? Man City are on 8 points. Okay, so they still got contention to finish in the top 8 here of the Champions League. But if Man City don't make a top 8 finish, that would be pretty crazy. The remaining games are Juventus away, PSG away, and what's their last game? Club Brugge at home. That ain't easy for Man City. They might be in a little bit of trouble here. They might be in a little bit of trouble, not of making the top 24. Of course, Man City will make it top 24, but top 8 could be slipping away. Juventus are a good defensive team. They will offer nothing going forward. We'll talk about them in a second, but kudos to Feyenoord, man. What a fighting mentality in this team that have suffered so many injuries this season. Ueda going down, Santi Jimenez being gone for like 2-3 months, and what's his name? Stengs being out. It's like they have suffered so many injuries, Feyenoord. To do this, unbelievable. And I mean, the Feyenoord fans in the background were going absolutely crazy, and they fully deserve it because they were making noise in the stadium. That stadium was a library. I don't want to clown atmospheres, but it was a library, right? And all you just heard was the Feyenoord fans singing, "You'll never walk alone." And you're singing, "Arne Slot." They were taking the piss out of Man City. Rightfully so. When you're down 3-0 with 15 minutes to go, and I think this was a stat as well. This is the latest comeback from a 3-0. This has never been done before in Champions League history, people. So of all teams to do it, Feyenoord away to Man City, you got to love this beautiful game. And you got to love this new Champions League format for cooking up storylines like this. But let me know your thoughts, people. Is this more about Man City in huge crisis mode, or is it about just the mentality of Feyenoord not giving up? And got to give it to them, man. All of their games are entertaining. The RB Salzburg game, the Bayern Leverkusen game, the Benfica game, they are an entertaining team to watch. If you're just a neutral and you just want to watch entertaining football, watch Feyenoord. And definitely watch this Algerian kid, Haj Musa. Wow, what a baller he's going to be, man. What a baller. Big up Pupinder, man. Thanks for the kind donation, buddy. Really appreciate it. He says, what are your top 5 favorites so far? Okay, right now, as we now conclude Champions League Match Day 5, 1 is Liverpool, 2 is Barcelona, 3 is Inter. I'm stuck on 4 and 5 because I don't think Man City or Real Madrid are making my top 5 at the moment. In all honesty, I would probably put Atalanta 4th. And 5th, right now, Arsenal. Because a lot of teams... Actually, no. Sorry. 5th is Bayern Munich. I'll put fifth Bayern Munich. Yeah, I'll put fifth Bayern Munich there. But Atalanta, I think we got to talk about them right now, people. Big up, Bhupinder. Thank you for the kind donation. Really appreciate it, buddy. All right, Barcelona 3-0. I gotta wrap up. I gotta go quick, people. Barcelona 3-0. Lewandowski, Olmo. I mean, Stade Brestois. This is why it's a fantastic story. Stade Brestois, what they're doing. But come on, when they're going to go up against these top teams, and obviously they got to draw at home against Bayern Leverkusen. Cool, everybody making the meme jokes and all that sort of stuff. But they got taught a lesson at the Montjuic. By the way, the stadium is still shit. The atmosphere was dead because the ultras were banned, I think, for not paying a 21,000 euro fine. Weird stuff. I was at the game where they got the fine, and yeah, it made sense why they got a fine in that matchup. But Barcelona just got back into a groove. Kubarsi is an absolute beast. Like, this guy's 17 years old. I mean, we're looking at a sort of, if you want to say, Fernando Hierro, Carlos Puyol, Piqué, sort of center back here, a generational center back for Spain, because the dude is just so comfortable on the ball. Defensively is so good, with just the decision-making, the slide tackles, everything about Kubarsi just screams presence, just screams Roman Reigns. That's what Kubarsi reminds me of. Roman Reigns, just the dominant force there. Dani Olmo, beautiful goal. Pedri just doing his thing. That ball he played over the top to Lewandowski to get the penalty for the first goal. Just sublime. Sublime from Barcelona. No Lamine Yamal. There was some talk that he wanted to play this game. Good thing he didn't. They didn't need him against Stade Brestois, because Stade Brestois offered nothing in this game. And look, is it over for Stade Brestois? Nope. They still got destiny in their own hands at the moment. But their next game is Dortmund away. I think it's Dortmund away. That's going to be a good test for this Barcelona team. Let's see how they face with the adversity and the atmosphere of Dortmund. Because Dortmund are still a good team. We'll talk about them in a second. But Barcelona, I think they got back to their winning ways. Defensively, they looked better. The high line was working. And now they got to build the momentum. After a couple tough games against Real Sociedad, Celta Vigo, getting back to winning ways, clean sheet, Lewandowski, 100 goals in the Champions League. But apparently this dude, he's finito. He's finito. A lot of Barcelona fans said last season, this guy's done. They're all quiet. They're all quiet. Shh. They're all quiet, people. They're all quiet. Because he's not done. If Lewandowski keeps this up, and if Barcelona win a La Liga or a Champions League, and if he wins the Pichichi, and if he's, let's say Barcelona make it to the semifinal or final of the Champions League and Lewandowski gets a lot of goals, he might win the Ballon d'Or, people. Which would be crazy, because everybody said he was washed last season. They said, no, he's done. He's done. Oh, my God. Do not deny greatness. This player right here is greatness, is Robert Lewandowski. That goal he had in the box where a little bit of couple cute touches and just finished it bottom right corner. Sublime from Lewandowski. Love this striker. And doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you're a technically gifted footballer like Lewandowski, you're going to get the goals. But you can't read too much into this game because Stade Brestois offered nothing in the matchup. They offered nothing, people. All right, Atalanta 6-1. I mean, Jesus Christ. Gasperini is actually a madman, people. Where would you rank Gasperini in terms of world managers right now? Is he top 5 manager in the world? He loses countless players. Cuti Romero, Kulusevski, Rasmus Højlund. It's like, okay, cool, we'll sell them for 30, 50, 60, 70 million. Cool, you go. Adios. All right, next man up. Next man up. Let's go. Come on, Samardzic, Retegi, CDK. Let's go, people. Gasperini is just a unbelievable manager. Unbelievable, just sort of tactical approach, and the way he just gets the best out of players who seem to be at a very low in their career, like an Armando Lukman, like a CDK. Retegi was on the come up at Genoa and obviously at Tigres in Argentina. But what he's doing consistently is ridiculous, people. It is just, Scamacca goes down injured. Okay, cool. We'll go sign Retegi. And Retegi is just scoring goals after goals. And they just, look, young boys are terrible. Either them or Slovan Bratislava are going to be finished bottom of this league phase. But Gasperini's coaching is unbelievable. And CDK, 2 goals, 3 assists. Do you think Milan could use him? Milan fans, I actually want to know your thoughts. Would you still take back CDK? Or are you like, no, he just didn't work out for us. Goodbye. Because CDK, it's just Gasperini's coaching, people. He said, cool, Ederson, you rest. Lukman, you rest. Oh no, actually, I think Edison had too many yellow cards. Lukman, you rest. Cool, we got this. We got this in the bag. But I want everybody to go onto the highlights and look at Samardzic's goal. Look at Samardzic's goal. That's a footballer right there. I loved him at Udinese. Now he's getting. Hopefully, he can get more opportunities because he's a baller. He's really a baller. And yeah, look, Atalanta do their thing. They're just destroying teams for fun at the moment. I just want them to keep this up. If Atalanta can keep playing like this, I have to get a ticket for when in January, Barcelona versus Atalanta. That might be the best game of the league phase. It's cooking up to be something really special on that day. And Atalanta's, I think their next two games in the Champions League are Real Madrid at home, Barcelona away. If Atalanta can beat both teams, would you say they have a chance of winning the Champions League, people? If they do that, I want to hear your thoughts. But unbelievable side. Gasperini consistently builds with this team. And look, Retegui is on a madness right now. He's on an absolute madness. All right. Oh, God. I just want you all to see this, right? Give me a second, people, while I bring this up. This is just sad. I mean, like, shout out to Martin for Girona. He missed this chance, people. Do you know what the XG on this chance was? 0.98. He missed it. He skied it. How if you are Martin of Girona, you miss this chance? Like, how? I mean, I don't understand. Like, Girona are just, it is sad because they played great football last season. They were scoring all the goals, and now it's just a broken team. They're a broken team, and you're missing, like, this is actually the miss of the year. This is easily the miss of the year. I don't know what could be worse. You know what's even worse for Martin? Got subbed off in the 52nd minute. 52nd minute. Adios, buddy. Pack your bags. You're done. You're done. Asprilla comes on. He looks a lot better than Martin for the whole entire game, in my opinion. But you cannot miss this. This is the epitome of Girona this season. They can't defend. They can't score enough goals. Okay, cool. Mizovski, you score your first 2 goals this season, but it's against the worst side, or one of the worst sides in La Liga, against Espanyol. What are you going to do in the Champions League? Nothing. Been a terrible signing so far for Girona, and this is a season to forget for them right now because they are not looking good and they're not making the top 24, which would be a huge disappointment. Not really like a huge disappointment, but just more of a sadness in a way for how well they played last season. And now we just don't get to see that sort of football, but you cannot miss this chance. Like, how do you miss this chance if you're Martin? And shout out to, obviously, Sturm Graz. They get their first win this season. Biereth, who I talked about heading into this Champions League season, the young Danish striker, gets the goal. A little bit fortunate with the rebound, but Yatta, I think it was, what was the midfielder's name that was doing well? Chukwani? I think it was Chukwani, another Danish midfielder. Great feat to beat a couple players, plays into Yatta, gets the shot off, but I'm telling you right now, people, this Brighton player that's on loan at Sturm Graz, Yalokue, beast player. He's going to be an unbelievable signing for them. Like, I don't know how Brighton do this. The dude is 18 years old. I think he's from Mali. They loaned him out, or no, I think it was Guinea or Mali. Loaned him out to Sturm Graz. He's going to be he's going to be a Baleba. He's going to be a Caicedo sort of player. From what I've seen so far, I watched a little bit of his highlights from Sweden. How do Brighton do this, people? How do we let them do this on a consistent basis? And they win the game, Sturm Graz, because Girona are toothless. They're toothless going forward. Absolutely toothless. You know who is another toothless team? Stuttgart. I'm going to have some sympathy here for Stuttgart. There's no Undaf. There's no, obviously, Leoling. There's no El Bilature because he just got injured. There's no Zagadou. So I have a bit of sympathy for Stuttgart. The one thing I'm not going to have sympathy for Sebastian Hoeneß and his team is the defending. Because the defending in this game was just so bad. I mean, the third and the fourth goal, the fourth and the fifth goal for Crvena Zvezda, 2-on-1, 3-on-1 counterattacks. You cannot defend like that if you're Stuttgart. And they're going to give up, like, the goals they gave up were so easy. And the funniest thing about this game was Silas, who's on loan from Stuttgart, scored for Crvena Zvezda. The guy didn't celebrate. Fair enough. You didn't celebrate. But you knew Silas was going to score in that game. You just knew it. He gets his goal. And Crvena Zvezda just absolutely tore them apart. I think it's more on Stuttgart just being terrible defensively. But Radonjic, the fifth goal he scored, or no, the fifth goal for Crvena zvezda, where he beats a couple Stuttgart players and then finishes it with his left foot. Oh, it was brilliant. Crvena zvezda deserved the victory because Stuttgart were toothless defensively. They got schooled. Now Crvena zvezda, all they're playing this morning is, I got 5 on it. Can we play Stuttgart every week? Because if you're going to play like that, Stuttgart, you're going to get beat 6-1, 5-1. That was just terrible. Stuttgart against Juventus, dominating performance, creating chances. All they just needed was that one late goal and they get the victory. And then yesterday against Crvena zvezda, they didn't show up. And the Maracana of Serbian football, well, the voice was going. They were singing Auf Wiedersehen, and they have said Auf Wiedersehen Stuttgart for their 5-piece goal here for Crvena zvezda. Great performance from them. Even though Maximovic, I know there's a lot of hype around this kid, he looks okay. I want to see more of him. He looks okay. Love Suyol, though. Suyol, left back, quality player. But Stuttgart, if you allow Krunic to score, you deserve to lose. Simple as that. You deserve to lose if you're going to allow Krunic to score, because Krunic is still not a good player. I will simply say that. But at least the German team won. Bayern Munich won. And Borussia Dortmund won. So at least two, and Bayer Leverkusen, excuse me, they all won. Bino Gittins, good player. I think he's got like one of the highest completion for dribbles this season in Europe. That goal he scored against Dinamo Zagreb, even though Dinamo Zagreb, they were losing a lot of key players. I swear one of the key strikers was out of this game. If I remember correctly, looking at the lineup, I think he was gone. Where was he? Wow, look at Dinamo Zagreb had only 6 players on the bench last night, people. Kulinovic, he must have been coming back from injury because he's been scoring all the goals for Dinamo Zagreb. And once in a while highlights, yeah, look, I mean, Dortmund took advantage of just Dinamo Zagreb poor defending. I mean, how Girassi is that freely open for the last goal is beyond me. Benzabani gets a nice goal. Dortmund created enough chances to win this game. Zagorac, the goalkeeper for Dinamo Zagreb, made a couple really, really good saves. Could have been 5-0, 6-0 for Dortmund. And this is what Dortmund need. You cannot trust this team. They put up good performances up against Freiburg, against Dinamo Zagreb, and they'll probably lose the next 2 games. This is what they need. They need to just be consistent defensively and going forward. Now, going forward, I don't think there's any question. You got Girassi, Maximilian Bayer, very good player. Gittins is now really performing. We need to see a bit more from Donio Malen. He had a great chance in this game, back post with the header. How are you not scoring that chance, Donio Malen? How? Bogs the mind about him. But they can just be defensively solid. Dortmund can be a dangerous team. Now, I want to see how they perform against Barcelona. That's going to be a good game because I think Bino Gittins can cause a lot of trouble. Bino Gittins against Kunde, that's a matchup to watch in the next match day, people. But yeah, good performance from Dortmund. And yeah, Dinamo Zagreb, they've had a good run so far in the Champions League, but I think the injuries killed them. Like Baturina, didn't have a great game, and a couple of the key players was out injured. Still no Petkovic. He's still out injured. All right. Let's get to the next game, people. Look at this. Where's the video?
I love this game! Here's you skill.
Okay. I have nothing to toast you with.
Woo! Woo! Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Put a 1 if you think last night's result was more that Liverpool were really good, or put a 2 if you think Real Madrid were bad. I want to know your thoughts in the chat because I thought Liverpool were fantastic. Can't lie. Even as a Liverpool fan, and I try and always be as neutral as possible, I thought Liverpool in that second half wiped the floor with Real Madrid. And of course, do Real Madrid suffering a lot of injuries? Yes. No Carvajal. Camavinga goes down injured in this game. No Militao. No Rodrigo. No Vinicius. And that definitely helped a lot to Liverpool to put up this sort of performance. But they were just dominant. The way they just moved the ball. The only thing going forward for Liverpool, maybe in the Champions League, is I think Luis Diaz, plays better as the false 9 than on the left wing. Because as soon as Luis Diaz went to the false 9 role, the dude was cooking. Absolutely cooking everywhere on the field. that pass he played over to the top to Salah for then Salah to get win the penalty. Brilliant from Luis Diaz there. Both the forward line had an off day, but yet Liverpool dominated the game. That just shows you how well drilled they are from Arne Slot. Arne Slot is just doing, for me, a miraculous job. All this sort of talk about, all right, you're up next after Jurgen Klopp. Who is this Dutch manager? Bald. He's going to be another Erik ten Hag. I don't know what to say. Arne Slot is just moving on and moving on. He's just cashing in all the slot machines at the moment. And it is just great to see this Liverpool team just perform. And the way Conor Bradley absolutely pocketed Kylian Mbappe, glorious. Glorious to see. Conor Bradley was just amazing. I mean, some of the tackles he was making in that first half was just stunning. Stunning. You cannot deny that Conor Bradley was probably man of the match. Him or, probably him or Konate. I would say those are the two players that are the man of the match. And yeah, what a great performance. Because, some people would be like, oh, Trent is out injured. How are Liverpool going to cope down that right side, maybe defensively and going forward? Conor Bradley got an assist, pocketed Mbappe, and I think he won the man of the match. Who won man of the match, people, by the way, from this game? I can't remember. I didn't check that, actually. And it was just a dominant performance. McAllister, great golazo, man. What a goal. The link-up play to Conor Bradley to receive it at the edge of the box, take the shot, bottom left corner. Anfield goes crazy, and Liverpool, they cruised to victory. This could have been 4-0. If I'm going to be kind, maybe 4-0, 4-1. Courtois is still goated, though. I mean, this guy is a cheat code. Serious cheat code. That one save he made on Diaz when he tried to chip it, any other goalkeeper, that goes in. But Courtois is just a cheat code of a goalkeeper, saves it, and kind of saved Real Madrid from getting embarrassed. This could have been a repeat of 2009. 4-0 at home for Liverpool against Real Madrid. Could have been 4-0. And I think that just speaks to volumes of how poor also Madrid were. They were bad, people. I don't know what the idea was going forward. All right, we'll play it out wide to Mbappe. Mbappe trying great. Okay, you can't do anything there. Bellingham, you want to get involved in the game? No? Okay, cool. There's a talk before the game from Bellingham. There was never close to rumors going to Liverpool. I'm a Madrid guy for 10 to 15 years. If you perform like that, you won't be. That's for sure. Because Bellingham, off day. Goulet, I'm not going to hate on Goulet. I think the guy's a sublime player. Sublime. And he hasn't been given a lot of minutes. But last night, poor performance from him. Do you want to just say two Madrid players were good last night? Do we want to say Camavinga and Valverde and that's it? Those two guys? Maybe Asensio, the center back, you could put him there. Rudiger. Everybody else? Modric. Love the guy. Not good. And Kylian. I did see somebody say that Kylian Mbappe is finished. Now, I'm not going to go that crazy. I don't think Kylian is finished. It's crazy, though. Kylian Mbappe has 9 goals in 18 games this season. But you can clearly tell this guy is not right. Either something mentally that's going wrong or physically he's declining. But where's Kylian Mbappe, people? Where is he? Where is that player that we have seen for so many years in the Champions League, at 2 World Cups, at Ligue 1, doing it over and over again? Where is Kylian Mbappe? Now there was no rumors or talk about, oh, you're not playing striker role. You're playing your favorite position. Couldn't do anything. Gets the penalty. Can't convert it. Didn't even, when Kylian Mbappe takes a penalty, always looks seriously confident. He actually didn't look confident for once taking a penalty. That's a serious issue. It's a mental thing right now with this player. I don't know what's going on. Something in the background or what, but when you're not doing well for Real Madrid and you're one of the highest paid players and you come with this sort of presence and you come with this aura from another club to Real Madrid, you need to perform if you're Mbappe. And when you're not going to be performing, the boos, they're going to get loud, Mbappe. If you think you got cooked by PSG fans, wait till you hear Madrid. Because they will whistle you, they will get the white handkerchiefs out, and they will just say, get out of our club right now. Because if you ain't performing for Hala Madrid, you're adios. It's bad. It's really, really bad for Mbappe. And I think for Madrid, I think this season might be a long one. I wouldn't be shocked, genuinely shocked, people, if they win any trophy this season. That's including the Supercopa. Maybe they'll win the Supercopa. I would be shocked if they win any trophy. What do you guys say about that? And everybody in the chat and in the comments down below. Because this team, its injuries, can definitely hear it, but they just have not looked like a solid team throughout this season. You know, in patches, they play good. Leganes played a good game. Terrible in other games, like the Barcelona game. I thought against Villarreal, they didn't play that great. Dortmund, Stuttgart, I think they got lucky. They just used the presence and the aura of Madrid to win the games. But when that aura is not working and when that sort of juju is not working either, you just see nothing from this team. And look, you could talk about poor squad building and all this sort of stuff. Carlo, maybe with his tactics. If your star player isn't showing up, then you're not performing as a team. And Mbappe didn't show up last night. And I'm going to say he hasn't showed up in a lot of games this season. The only big games Real Madrid have won this season is Stuttgart and Dortmund. And that's not because they played amazing. That's because they used the momentum and they got lucky in those games. I'm sorry, they got lucky in those games. Yeah, they won 5-2 against Dortmund. That was just because Madrid did a Madrid, while Dortmund did a Dortmund. But in the big games this season, Milan, I thought they got cooked. Barcelona got spit roasted. Liverpool, sauteed. It's not been good for Madrid with big games, and that's something that Carlo has to work on these players. And let's just see how Mbappe recovers, because I think that's the main talking point with this team. The other players, some of them are performing well, like Valverde, like Camavinga. Now they just got a crazy injury list at the moment. So I want to see when the players get back healthy, like the Vinicius, Rodrigo, Tchouameni, Camavinga. I want to see if these sort of poor performances continue. But if they keep on continuing, they're not going to win anything this season. Right now, I would be shocked if they win the Champions League. But it's a long season ahead, people. We're only in November. Let's see how it continues. But Liverpool, are they the best team in Europe right now, people? Let me know your thoughts. I think it's just an unbelievable performance. And if they just keep playing like this, Liverpool will be a dangerous team throughout the season in the Premier League and in the Champions League. They just need like Salah had an off day, had a terrible penalty. I don't know what he's doing with that technique. And yet they still went 2-0 and was comfortable. If the forward line was cooking, we could have seen something nasty at Anfield yesterday. Nasty. Mbappe. Patricio. Yep. Yeah, I think the injuries definitely did screw up. God, HH, man, crashed. It definitely sums up Mbappe this season. When one of your biggest fans is crashing, you know the player is crashing as well. But great performance from Liverpool and Madrid. They are struggling big time. All right, let's continue, people. We got about, how many games do we have left still? All right, we got to keep on going because we got to still talk about the table, and I got to run soon. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you all for tuning in. 47 of you. Big up to you all. Big up to you all. Aston Villa, did they get robbed? That one was a tough one to really call. De Gregorio, I think it was who was the player? Was it Diego Carlos? Might have been Diego Carlos or somebody like that. They went up for the challenge for the header and the free kick, and the referee called it a foul, but they put the ball in the back of the net. I think it was Rodgers who scored the goal. Like, yeah, you could call that a foul. I think 50-50 for me. 50-50. I know Aston Villa fans will be pissed off and they say they got robbed of a very big moment and a very big victory over Juventus at home, but the game wasn't great. If we're going to be honest, the game wasn't great. Both teams, did they create a lot? No. I thought Aston Villa, compared to how they've been in the last couple of weeks defensively, looked good. Juventus got nothing going forward, people. Do you want to know what Juventus's bench was last night in this game? The Juventus's bench is down to the bare bones at the moment. They had Danilo, Fagioli, Mbangula, Perino, goalkeeper, Pinzoglio, a goalkeeper, and then Rui, another defender. That was their bench, people. They had nothing. And Conceição had a header at the back post. How Emi Martinez made that save is just ridiculous for me. Ridiculous from Dibble to save that. I think for Aston Villa, they just got to fix that forward line right now because the forward line is not cooking for Aston Villa. Watkins, not... I still like Watkins. I think he's a good player. Leon Bailey, he had some good moments yesterday. He played that great cross into John McGinn, which was saved off the line from Savona or I think it was Cambiasso who saved it off the line. Incredible. No, sorry, it was Locatelli who saved it off the line. So Aston Villa could have easily won this game. And I think Villa fans will be talking about robbery, but I don't think they played it well going forward. The final third is where they were lacking big time. And Dibu saved them with that ridiculous save. But I think 0-0 was a fair result. But you can tell Juventus, yes, it's the injuries, but it's also the midfield's not creating a lot. Like Koop Miners. Koop Miners has not been good this season. Comes in for big money. They've been chasing him all summer. He's not performed well. Like, you got to talk. So either, I wonder if there's going to be sort of a tactical change from Thiago Motta. All right, let's play Koop Miners and Locatelli as a double pivot. Maybe play Yildiz in the 10 role. Timothy Weah out wide, Conceição on the other side. And then I guess when Vlahovic gets back, he'll play the striker role. We could see something like that. But yeah, Juventus are kind of lacking going forward. And maybe that's something that Thiago Motta needs to work on. And 0-0 was a fair result. I don't think either team really deserved it. And Aston Villa fans can talk about being robbed, but it's touch and go for that one. It's a touch and go. And Benfica, they did nothing for 30 minutes, and then they woke up, and then this game, the second half, I rewatched the game this morning, people. The second half was just exhilarating football, end to end. Benfica creating chances, Monaco creating chances, and not really controversy, but just Single getting the red card too. Di Maria getting one of the all-time, I think he's now ahead of Messi as all-time assist provider in the Champions League. Di Maria with two fantastic crosses to win this game. And this game was massive for Benfica. They had to win this game, in all honesty, because they still got a tough schedule coming up. And to win this game, and of all players to come off the bench and do it, Cabral and Amodini. They both come off the bench and they get the two crucial goals. I think for Monaco, if this was 11v11, they might have won this game. Because they still took the lead when they were down to 10 men. And then Benfica just come back kings. Di Maria magic. Even though Di Maria, you can just see the age is catching up to him, still just gives that little inch of quality. And when you have that little inch of quality, you're gonna provide something. And he provided two sublime crosses into both Cabral and Almodini, and they picked up a pivotal win. Even though, which player was it? Was it Caio Henrique for the first goal for Benfica with the, oh my God, that might be one of the worst back passes I've seen, because Pavlidis reads it well, gets onto the end of it and scores the goal. I thought it was just terrible from Monaco's perspective, and they're kind of fading away in the Champions League right now. They started really well, beating Barcelona, going away to Dinamo Zagreb, getting a point. They're still a good team. Mbola having a really good chance in this game, hitting the post, but a really entertaining game. And Benfica, I think they needed these points more than Monaco, and they kind of showed that urgency when they went up a man. Even though they went down behind 2-1, Bruno Lage made the subs. Subs make a difference, and Benfica, 3 wins. Oh, no, sorry. Wait, did they? I think got 3 wins now, Benfica. Wait, let me quickly check. I think they got 3 wins now, Benfica. Yep, they got 3 wins. They beat Crvena Zvezda away. They destroyed Atletico, and they beat Monaco. Good for Benfica. Yeah, this game was full of up and downs in terms of emotions as a Benfica fan. Yeah, I can imagine that. Watching that second half alone was ridiculous. Just end-to-end stuff. Like Single, I don't know what he's doing. I kind of feel bad for him with that second yellow card, because is that really deserving of a second yellow? A little bit, yeah, you could say that. But with the subs that Bruno Lage made, that's just sort of the quality that Benfica have off the bench. They just got to put in 90-minute performance, especially in the Champions League. You have to do that. You cannot be sleeping for the first 30 minutes like I thought Benfica were. But the last 60 minutes, Benfica proved to be the best team. I wouldn't say it looks unstoppable. I wouldn't say that, because I thought Monaco still took the lead. Bologna at home, yeah, it has to be a win there. Because I think that's the next game I put up, right? Another team like Girona, man. At least Bologna scored a goal, people. At least they scored a goal. But similar to Girona, it's just sad, right? Bologna lose all these players. They lose their manager. And it just doesn't look the same anymore. Dalinga hasn't been a good signing. The only goal they've scored in 5 games, people. This was their first goal for Bologna in Champions League history. Did you hear the roar at the majestic stadium they play at? This was a massive moment for the fans. And then they throw away the game. And Lille were the better team. They created the better chances. And this kid as well, who started the game, Mukau, the Congolese player, I think it was his first 2 goals in professional football. I might be mistaken. I think it was ridiculous. Jonathan David, great pressing for that first goal to win the ball back, place it to Macau. And I think this just sort of epitomizes Bologna's season. First, they block it. No, actually, first they try and clear it with Bosch. Bosch then hits his own player, falls to the path of David. David plays it back to Macau. His shot then hits off another Bologna player, falls back to Macau, and he scores it. That just epitomizes Bologna's season. They're just an unfortunate team. Because they create all these chances, but they just don't. They're just not a clinical team. And at least Lukumi scored thanks to Orsolini's great cross. And Leo, I thought they were the better team, man. For all the injuries they suffered as well, Zagreb didn't even start this game, and they won it. And they've won now 3 games in the Champions League, Leo. Unreal from them. And Bologna are in big trouble. Bologna have still 0 wins. 0 wins in the Champions League. Sad sight for Bologna fans, but at least they enjoyed the journey, but their journey has not been fruitful at all. And for Leo, man, it could be a sleeper team, people. They got some dangerous players like Jonathan David, obviously Zagrova, and, Angel Gomez is out injured. And still to put up these performances, you're beating Real Madrid, you're beating Atletico away, you're beating Bologna away. Leo look like a good team. And they're performing it well. This might be the craziest comeback of the night, people. PSV were 2-0 down with, 3 minutes to go in the game? 3 minutes to go. Do you know how many shots they had in this game, people? They had 35 shots. The goalkeeper for Shakhtar, I got to get his name. Riznik made 15 saves. Some of the saves, the one on Bakayoko, where Bakayoko, he gets the red card because I don't know what was the player's name? Pedrino. I mean, stupid challenge. Seriously, a stupid challenge from him. And it just gave all the momentum. PSV with Peter Bosch, terrible defending. If you want to watch a PSV game, get ready for some horrible defending and creating a lot of chances and sometimes not being clinical. At least they got clinical in the last 5 minutes of the game because they were 2-0 down with the 10-man advantage, and they just then scored some ridiculous goals. The goal from Malik Tillman, que golazo. That's what you just need. You just need somebody to take the ball and say, now's the time I score the goal. And Malik Tillman said, come here, give me the ball. I'm going to put it in the back of the net. And it was a screamer from him. And then Pepe with the rebound goal. America saved PSV in this matchup because they should have won this game if it wasn't just for naive defending in that first half from them in the first 30 minutes. And look at Peter Bosch's reaction, people. Look at this reaction. The dude didn't even celebrate. He didn't even celebrate when they scored that goal because he knew, even though they created all these chances, he was not happy. And I think it was more just because of how bad they defended in that first half. You create all these chances, but all the managers, all the assistants, all the players, they go crazy. And Peter Bosch is just sitting there. He's like, this is nothing. This is nothing, people. But PSV more than deserving to win this game. More than deserving. They created all the opportunities. They just got to be a much clinical team. They got some players, man. Bakayoko, obviously, Noah Lang, Luke de Jong, Ricardo Pepe, Malik Tillman. They got players. But it's Peter Bosch ball. It's going to give you a heart attack at times. And wow, great. I mean, this might be the craziest remontada we saw yet this week. 3-0 down, 2-0 down, 87th minute, and still win the game. Yeah, cool. You're playing against 10 men. Still to win the game. Ridiculous scenes. And they needed these 3 points. Big time for PSV Eindhoven. Eredivisie teams coming with the crazy comebacks, huh? And then the last game is Celtic 1 and Club Brugge 1. Are you ready for this, people? Are you ready to see a madness of an own goal? Are you ready, people? Oh my God, this might be the worst own goal of the season so far. How? Who do you blame more for this? Do you blame Carter Vickers more, or do you blame Schmeichel more? I'm actually intrigued to see what you people say in the chat. I guess you kind of blame Carter Vickers more because Schmeichel was waiting for the pass. I think it was McGregor who was trying to give the pass back to Schmeichel. And then he just took the ball, Carter Vickers, and then just passed it without even looking. And he just scored the craziest. This might be one of the craziest own goals we'll see all season. And good thing for Celtic, though, is they had, some mentality. And I think that's something that this team has now built on this season, is having a mentality under Brendan Rodgers, and they didn't give up. Even though Club Brugge created a couple of really good chances with Skof Olsen having a good chance, Jutkla having a good chance, and Club Brugge could have easily taken a 2-0 lead, and Celtic could have really been behind. But Maeda's goal, he slips, and he puts in a... Watch this goal as well, people. This goal from Maeda, unreal goal. I think 1-1 is a fair result, in my opinion. Maybe you could say Club Brugge were more deserving because they created really good chances. Zolis, by the way, this Greek player, insane. I love this player. Really enjoying how well he's playing this season in the Champions League. And Club Brugge have been a good team. I'll say that. I thought they were going to be really bad, but they're kind of continuing the form from last year in the Conference League when they made it to the semifinal. They're continuing it in the Champions League. 1-1, fair result. Celtic, could they be a bit more brave in their play? Perhaps. Maybe Furuhashi could have done better. Maybe a little bit better from Kuhn, even though he had he created a pretty decent chance in the first half, Yeah, in the first 10 or 20 minutes of the game. Kuhn created a good chance, but I think it's more on Skof Olsen. Skof Olsen had a couple really good chances in this matchup and couldn't score the goal. All right, so that is all the games, people. Now let's look at the table. Actually, I'm going to ask you this as well. 36 of you in the house, remember to hit the like button. We're going to finish in about next 5 minutes, so if you could kindly hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Who is your MVP of the week? Who is your MVP of this week in the Champions League? Is it Conor Bradley? Is it CDK? Is it Retegi? Is it Pavlidis? Whatever player. Who's your MVP for this Champions League? I want to know your thoughts. Who is your Champions League MVP of the week? Is it Neuer just for being Neuer? Is it Lewandowski? Bino Gittins? Florian Wirtz? Trying to think of other players. Erdegaard? Saka? I want to know who's your MVP of the week. Hard to choose? Yeah, it's a little bit hard to choose. Everyone's sleeping on Inter, 0 goals conceded. 100% Sachin. Yeah, man. Inter are a good team. All right, so now we look at this table while you guys are thinking of your MVP of the week. I think the biggest conclusion we can have for this week is Real Madrid and PSG are 24th and 25th. Insane. I thought we would never get to this stage, in all honesty. Yeah, Fluke, we've done all the games already, buddy. We're on the table. We're ending in 5 minutes. Which team do you think needs a must-win in the next match day? Of any team. You could say maybe Celtic, Dinamo Zagreb, Real Madrid, PSG. Which team needs a win here? I think when we look at the top 8. I think Liverpool, certified top 8. Inter, certified top 8. Barcelona, certified top 8. Dortmund, certified top 8. Atalanta, maybe. They got 2 tough games for sure. Arsenal, I think they're going to be a certified top 8 team at the moment. So there's still 3 teams for the top 8, in my opinion, that can then finish up in the top 8. This knockout round, 9th through 24, we're going to get some crazy matchups at this rate because there's still teams like Milan, Atleti, Man City, Juventus, Real Madrid, even PSG could get into the 9th through 24. We're going to see some madness in those games. Honestly, Aston Villa in there. So my biggest takeaway from this week and just looking at this table is that PSG are in big trouble. Again, like I did in the last match review with the last match day, PSG are in big trouble. I think Real, they are okay as long as they don't lose to Atalanta. If Real Madrid lose to Atalanta, then they could be in trouble. Then they have to beat RB Salzburg at home. There is no other way about it. They have to beat RB Salzburg at home. So if Real Madrid and PSG lose their next game, it's adios. It actually might be adios. And then you have to look at teams. Although teams like Stuttgart, can you trust them to get back into the top 24? Not really. Not really. So it's going to be very fascinating to see how this goes down for the last couple match days. And this is really, I don't know how people, if you like this format, if you don't, put a 1. Have you enjoyed the Champions League this season? Or put a 2. You're going to give it to the match day 8 to give your full review of it. I'm enjoying the games. Look, some people talk about the big games. They're not that high quality. I think some teams, like Inter, they're really rotating players. And then other teams are really struggling with injuries or really struggling just for some sort of form. I think when we get to the knockout stage, That's when you're going to see a lot of these teams in full gear and in just full sort of chemistry at that time. Right now, some teams are still trying to figure out. That's why they might not win their respective league, but then they might do well in the Champions League. Who knows how it's going to go down? But right now, what is your top 5 sort of favorites, people? For me, I think when it comes to the top 5 favorites, Liverpool 1, Barcelona 2, Inter 3. I'm going to put Atalanta 4th, Bayern Munich 5th. Crazy how we don't even mention Man City, Real Madrid in a top 5 favorites for me at the moment. That just shows you how down bad those two teams are. And there's going to be a hot contention for who is going to be the worst team in the Champions League this season. Because Slovan Bratislava and Young Boys, are they playing against each other? Please tell me they're playing against each other. I need to see that. Because if they are, that will make it even more glorious. Let me see here. If they're playing against each other. No. Young Boys are taking on Stuttgart. Slovan Bratislava are taking on Atletico Madrid. RIP to both. Then Young Boys go away to Celtic. Slovan Bratislava have Stuttgart. RIP to both teams. Dinamo Zagreb. No, wait. Then the last game is Young Boys take on Zvezda and Slovan Bratislava. Yeah. Slovan Bratislava are going to be the worst team. They're going to be the worst team. Shout out to all my Slovaks out there. Slovensko are going to finish bottom of this league. They're going to finish bottom. And they might have a goal difference of minus 30. At this rate, with the goals they concede, Vladimir Weiss Sr., he's got no hair left. He might be doing scratches like he's Pep out there. So who's my dark horse? I think it's Atalanta. I think it should be everybody's pick is Atalanta. If they keep on performing, like this is the thing with Atalanta. If they can just keep up these performances, because it's always every season, they start off hot, and then they kind of cool down in the second half of the season. They didn't do that for the Europa League last season, and they won the whole damn thing. If Atalanta can keep up these performances, and Scamacca coming back from injury somehow, Scalvini recovering from an ACL in 4 months, I don't know what sort of steroids they're giving to in Atalanta, but to recover from an ACL injury in 4 months is wild. I hope they're doing the right thing, but if they can get those two players back, Atalanta might make the semifinal or quarterfinal. Quarterfinal, I think I can safely say that. Semifinal, I wouldn't be going crazy about that with Atalanta because they're playing some phenomenal football. If Sporting kept Ruben Amorim, I would have said Sporting. But I need to see how this new manager does in the next couple games. If he's not doing well and the team's sort of performances take a dip in that, then I'm going to get off the Sporting bandwagon from them making a deep run. Maybe a team that could emerge as a dark horse. Who can emerge as a dark horse? I would say a team like Atleti. You never want to play Diego Simeone in the Champions League knockout stage. You never want to. That is the worst possible matchup. If they can just get Lernomad healthy, if they can get Jimenez healthy, and they can just sort out what's going to be their starting front line, Atleti got the pieces to hurt a lot of teams in the Champions League. And they got the manager for it as well, who's going to do his crazy sort of antics on the sideline, really build in with the crowd. So you do not want to play Atleti. That would be sort of dark horse for me as we emerge further into the season. But we still got 3 match days to go, people. We could be here at the end of the match day 8 and talk about Real Madrid not making the top 24. If that happens, we will have 2 hours dedicated to Real Madrid and a morning for them, as it would be RIP for their season if that happened, people. All right, everybody. Well, that is the Champions League match day 5 review. Don't worry, I'll put timestamps if you're just tuning in to the chat. Big up to Abdi Rizak. He says, Barcelona, Liverpool right now, who would win? Oh, dear. Why you got to put me in a tough position? Who would win, people, right now? Look, people would call me biased. I think Liverpool would win. I think that game would finish 3-2. If Barcelona would play that high line against Diaz and Salah, I think Liverpool would win. But would it be a heck of an entertaining game? That would it be one of the most entertaining games possible? So yeah, I would lean towards Liverpool, just slightly. But, if you pick Barcelona, I'm not going to hate people. They're a good team as well, Barcelona. But yeah, right now, I would pick Liverpool. That would be my team. This is Inter's year in the UCL. Could be. Yeah. All right, people. That's going to be the end of the stream. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who would be your pick right now to win the Champions League? Who would be your biggest dark horse to win the Champions League? I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Remember to follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord, all those links, description down below. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios, everybody.